All right, let's clear things up. As early as the beginning of the year, everyone was excited about the huge chance that XRP would reach $10,000. Also, guess what? That guess has just become much more accurate. Larry Fink from Blackrock is officially supporting this. Take a look at this. He's not just talking about $10,000 per XRP. Of course not. He's making it sound like a basic need. Hello everyone at Moneyside. Welcome back to the place where you can find everything about XRP. Before we get into the meat of today's post, let's quickly catch up. Please do me a small favor, tap the like button, subscribe, and bell button to become a part of our wonderful group. Also, here's a heads up, as we get closer to 60,000 subscribers, we're getting ready for a huge XRP gift. It's really easy to enter the giveaway. Just do these 3 easy things. So be ready and tuned in. Don't forget to leave a hashtag for Moneyside in the comments to make sure you get in on the prize. This is where it gets juicy. Imagine that big names in finance like BlackRock and Vanguard are now seriously thinking about using XRP for their foreign transactions. Don't worry, things will get better. There are rumors that BlackRock will release an ETF that focuses on XRP. You did hear that right. There's more though. That was not all Larry Fink did. He's looking at the huge real estate market, which is worth $30 trillion. Can you guess what the future holds for it? That's it. The XRP ledger is all set to turn everything into a coin, and a huge $1.2 quadrillion from the International Swaps and Traders Association is going to run through the XRP ledger and RippleNet. There's more to it than just $10,000 per XRP. That's how kids play. The value of each XRP could go through the roof, reaching as much as $60,000. Wow, that's really cool. Let us move on to the next part. Another big surprise came from Larry Fink of BlackRock. There's more to him than just talking. Things are about to get really big for Ripple and its digital currency, XRP. Everything will be tokenized. And the next part of our movie has a clip that will get people's attention. The move by BlackRock toward an XRP ETF was confirmed by Larry Fink himself. Let's not wait any longer. Feel free to watch this clip now. The rise of Bitcoin ETFs is one way that we're legitimizing it. We're making things safer. Now let me ask you this. Are you going to do another ETF? What about an XRP ETF? I know you have an Ether somewhere. What about XRP? Could you answer that? I can't. You don't want me to. Sure. I'm afraid I can't. Okay. They're wrapping me up. Thanks. We've seen a lot of strange things happen in the crypto world lately, especially with XRP. As you can see, the price of XRP went through the roof and reached an amazing $43,000 on the famous market crypto.com. This isn't a one-time thing. This is part of a rising trend of XRP's value going up without warning. Remember last week when we talked about a $7,000 XRP bug at a major exchange? Now it's crypto.com's turn, and it looks like these sudden price jumps for XRP are happening all the time on different markets. But let's talk about something else that I found through a lot of study. It's just as interesting as BlackRock or the overall rise in the XRP market. We're going to talk about Gary Gensler, the famous SEC head who took over for Jake Clinton. Gensler always puts XRP in the security category, which most of you may already know. This is where it gets interesting. Robert M. Gensler is Gary Gensler's identical twin brother. They are the same age and look a lot alike. As vice president of T. Rowe Price, Robert is a very important person there. If you look a little more closely, you'll see that T. Rowe Price isn't just any investment company. It's one of the biggest ones that is putting a lot of money into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and yes, XRP. So there's an interesting link here. Gary Gensler, who is in charge of the SEC, keeps calling XRP a security. However, his twin brother is very involved with an investment company that has a lot of money invested in XRP and other cryptocurrencies. It's an interesting contrast that makes me wonder about the complicated dynamics at play in the world of cryptocurrency investments and laws. Now we come to an exciting option. Could Robert Gensler, vice president of T. Rowe Price, know something that no one else does about XRP's possibilities like they do about Bitcoin and Ethereum? When you think about how much the company has invested in these 3 cryptocurrencies, this idea starts to make sense. In public, the SEC says there is no such thing as insider trading, but many stories and investigations have shown that there is. These investigations, which have mostly been about market manipulation and insider trading, have frequently shown that the SEC is doing things that aren't right. It looks like a pattern is starting to form. It looks like SEC employees are telling their friends and family about which digital assets might soon no longer be considered stocks. Then, these family members and friends invest early, and when the asset is officially labeled non-security, its value goes through the roof. This lets them make a lot of money by buying low and selling high. In this situation, let's think about the chance that Robert N. Gensler got inside information from his brother Gary Gensler about how the SEC might lose a case against XRP. This kind of information could mean that Congress wants to settle the case between Ripple Labs and the SEC. This is a great time for smart buyers to buy XRP, but seeing T. Rowe Price put more and more money into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and most especially XRP adds another layer to this story. The cryptocurrency community is talking a lot about how XRP could hit unbelievable highs like $10,000, $20,000, or even $60,000. Notably, analysts who have been bullish on XRP, like Jack the Rippler, think its value will skyrocket, possibly going over $589. Even though this prediction is very bold, it shows how much people are interested in and guessing about XRP and its possibilities in the cryptocurrency market. It looks like Wall Street wants a piece of the profitable XRP pie. An XRP ETF will be the first big play. But let's look into this event more deeply than just the surface. Crypto Basic has given us some interesting news. An analyst says that JP Morgan has made a big move into XRP, which has caught the attention of a former head of Ripple. This news really made me scratch my head, and we need to talk about it. This is how the story goes. Ben Armstrong, who used to work for the BitBoy crypto brand, brought up some controversial comments about JP Morgan's alleged investment in XRP, which made an ex-Ripple director respond. Armstrong, a well-known person in the crypto world, wrote a series of posts about this. He says that JP Morgan has bought a huge amount of XRP tokens, 7.5 million of them. Armstrong then says that this move is worth about 7.5% of all of JP Morgan's wealth.